Hello and welcome to 5 at 5 with me, Boria Majumdar. As always, take a look at the statement from Irfan Pathan about how's that, download the app, keep playing. There's a lot of cricket going on. After Irfan, I'm back with you for a lot of stories today.
क्या आप भी किसी अपने सपने मेरे तुम्हारे टीम 11 पे टीम बना रहे हो और बच्चों के साथ खेल रहे हो? हमारे साथ खेलोगे? हाउस पे खेलो लेजेंड्स के साथ, हमें हरा और जीतो डबल कैश. Log on to houseit.com and win real cash.
First and foremost, Arun Dhumal has now made it public what has been doing the rounds in the BCCI ranks for close to 2 months now. It was well known that the BCCI wants to hold IPL 2021 in India. Saurav Ganguly said so in an interview to me about a month and a half back. Yesterday, Arun Dhumal in an interview to news agencies and to multiple newspapers have said the same, which is great news for anyone following Indian cricket. Still not final because they will have to take a close look at COVID and how things evolve over the next month or so. But from what we understand from the BCCI, the plan is very much on to hold the IPL and the Women's T20 Challenge in India on Indian soil. The idea is very simple. If the BCCI can create bio bubbles in the UAE at the height of the pandemic, things are much better now with vaccination on and clearly vaccines proving effective around the world. Even the South Africa strain, there are vaccines which have now shown 57, 58% efficacy, which means that the WHO standard of 50% has been met. There is no reason why the IPL and the Women's T20 Challenge cannot be played in India. That's what the BCCI is banking on. They have already started trials in the sense the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, 6 bio bubbles were created, close to 3 weeks rather, that the tournament was played. The Vijay Hazare Trophy once again will be on the same model of the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. 6 bio bubbles across the country will be created and the tournament played. And obviously the India-England series, Chennai, Pune, Motera, 3 venues have been identified, bio bubbles have been created. The series is just about to start. So in every sense, resumption is on the cards and there is no reason why the IPL and the Women's T20 Challenge cannot be played on Indian soil. The BCCI will want to zero in on a particular city and venue where there are multiple cricket stadiums, just like they had in the UAE with Dubai and Sharjah. So the idea will be Bombay. The idea might be Bengaluru, but the idea primarily will be Bombay because Mumbai will be Wankhede, Brebon, DY Patil, which is all within a radius of say 1 hour or so. They also have the Pune stadium, which can be utilized. So 4 stadiums with multiples very good hotels in the area where bio bubbles can be created for all the players who can also be vaccinated because, the supply of vaccines will progressively increase in India and players can also be vaccinated and rather officials also involved with the IPL can be vaccinated. So all of these plans are there. But most importantly, more or less, we now know that the tournament will be played in India. Crowds, we have to wait and see. There has been a ministerial permission. The BCCI will try with crowds in the England series towards the latter part. They will definitely, their plan is to get 50%. We will see what happens in Motera and in the white ball leg. If they are successful, then who knows, we might well see the IPL with a resumption of partial crowds allowed into the stadium. Number 2, BCCI Secretary Jai Shah has become the president of the Asian Cricket Council and has been appointed as the youngest ever president of the Asian Cricket Council. So congratulations to Jai. The Asia Cup for both men and women, the primary task of the Asian Cricket Council, along with development of cricket in the Asian region among the associate member countries. So hopefully under Jai Shah, the Asian Cricket Council will do some significant work in the years to come. Number 3, and again, this is interesting. A lot of people have asked me, what is the scenario? I mean, we keep hearing about the World Test Championship. We keep hearing that India 71%, New Zealand 70%, Australia 69%, England after winning the Sri Lanka series 64, 65%. So what is it? What do these teams have to do to qualify? So let me try and simplify the scenarios for you. All India needs 120 points up for grabs. All India needs is 80 points from the England series. So either a 2-0 result or a 3-1 result, and India will be in the finals of the WTC without having to wait for anyone. without having to wait for any other team or bothered about any other result. That is as simple as India's equation goes. Australia, they will travel to South Africa on February 25th, and they need to win both their test matches against South Africa to give themselves any chance of making the final. If they lose, then they are gone. If they are 1-1, even then they are gone. They will have to win two of their test matches against South Africa to give themselves any real chance of making the finals of the World Test Championship. England, after beating Sri Lanka 2-0, they have sort of given themselves a very slim chance, but they will have to beat India either a 4-0 or a 3-1 kind of result to give themselves a real chance and bring them back into reckoning. Even a 2-2 draw against India will not do the job for England, and they will not be able to qualify for the finals of the World Test Championship, which will be held at Lord's between 18th and 22nd June. By then, England should be in control of COVID from all the medical reports that we have heard, that by Easter, a large part of the country will be vaccinated and things should be much better, which should allow the tournament, the final to go ahead at cricket's Mecca, the Lord's cricket ground. So England's qualification scenario, once again, they will have to beat India 3-1 or 4-0 to give themselves any kind of chance, for otherwise, even a 2-2 draw won't work for them. New Zealand, they are in a very, very good position, should make the final along with probably India. That's how the scenario is looking at this point in time. And as I said, India, all they need is a 2-0 result or a 3-1 result. Even if they don't get that, they are still in with a very, very good chance, depending on the results of some of the other teams like Australia. At this point in time, it is India and New Zealand who seem to be the two favorites to make the finals of the World Test Championship in June. Number 4, in the online shooting that we are seeing that's going on, Indians have bagged a bag full of medals yet again. The Indian shooting team is looking superb going ahead to Tokyo. As you know, over the last year or two, India has done extraordinarily well in shooting since Rio, where the Indian shooting team was a big disappointment with all of the shooters qualifying but no medals. The Shooting Federation, NRAI, National Rifle Association of India, appointed a committee under Abhinav Bindra, which looked into what had gone wrong. And it is one of the most interesting reports that you can possibly read. The committee introspected, sort of made a blueprint, which was subsequently implemented by Raninder Singh and his team. Proper coaching staff appointed, Jaspal Rana, Suma Shirur, and at the junior level, also at the senior level for India shooters, and you are clearly seeing the result. We have a tremendous crop of shooters now, whether it is a Manu Bhakar or a Saurabh Chaudhary and Anjum Mudgil, Rahi Sarnobat and Apurvi Chandela. They have done extraordinarily well over the last few years. So there is no reason to believe that India will not win multiple medals at the Tokyo Games. In fact, with the mixed events coming, there is every reason to believe that India might also win the gold medal in some of the events. For example, the mixed gender 10-meter air pistol with Manu and Saurabh, India has a fantastic chance of making the podium at the very top. So the online shooting competition has gone very, very well for India, and chances are that India shooting will grow from strength to strength moving ahead into the Tokyo Games. Finally, news point number 5, continuing with our series for India versus England. You know, I was talking to you about 1946. Today, let me tell you what was going on. In 1946, very interestingly, because of the Second World War, there was a huge shortage of food materials. There was a huge financial crisis in England, and the Indian team members were almost in starvation because there was no sufficient food, there was no sufficient supplies, there was no sufficient anything for that matter for the Indian team in 1946 in England. The team was very, very disappointed with the BCCI because the board had failed to provide them with the basic supplies in England. Think of what happened in the quarantine in Australia and what happened in 1946, and you will know how the BCCI has changed over the years. At that point in time, a public appeal was made to Indian cricket fans and British cricket fans, and fans started sending in tea and biscuits and basic supplies for the Indian team. And And I must tell you that it really helped the team that such supplies came in, and it sort of saved them from starvation and allowed them to continue with the tour. But the experience was very unhappy and very unpleasant in 1946. England was still very much in the throes of the Second World War, was recovering, was going through a massive financial crisis, and that impacted the tour like anything else. So that's all I have for you today at 5 at 5. More on our series tomorrow, but do subscribe to the channel. And as I said, on Monday, which is tomorrow, there will be another big special coming your way. So watch out for that. We will keep building up, giving you exclusives on Sports Today. Do subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, for this is your platform for the very best sports news from across the world.